Hi everyone, welcome to the Dave's World YouTube channel. So I had a lot of people contact me because they wanted the parts that I was making for Gen 1 and Gen 2 cruises, so I decided to start a website called supercruises.com. So this video isn't really to show you how to put a PCV fix into a ported intake manifold. This video is just me showing you how to install the kit that I sell on supercruises.com. You could also get it through Dave's Custom Parts, which is basically the same website, or Shop Dave's World, which is my my new store that I'm working on for everyone, so you can get financing options. And anybody who's a member can actually get these at a discount. Just let me know when you're if you're a member and you want to purchase, then I'll give you the discount codes. But anyway, the idea is to show you that this is available, and whenever you purchase these intake manifold kits, it'll come with the PCV fix already installed. It'll come with the ability to install the Super Cruises catch can, and then I'll show you later in the video how to install the rest of the kit, just to show you how easy everything is. I love this kit, and the fact that it produces power, fixes the PCV issue, and cleans up everything makes me very happy to offer it to the community. So I wanted to take a minute just to show everybody that I've been working on two different websites. Basically, my main website is davescustomparts.com. So this website is my Dave's Custom Parts website. If you type in supercruises.com, it brings you to this section of the website. The idea behind it was whenever I did something in a video someone might have wanted, or you wanted to contact me, this website was how you could do that. So for example, today we're talking about ported intake manifolds. You could simply go right to the ported intake manifold section. At the top or the bottom of most of these sections, there's usually all the information you need, but then you'll see something called Quick Purchase. You can choose whatever option you want of the manifold, add it to your cart, and then scroll down and pick checkout. And the nice thing now is if you're a member of the channel, I could actually give you coupons, and you can also choose different ways to pay. So I know this says like $800, but it's because there's a couple things in the cart. But you can choose, for example, let's say you have a product that is that expensive and you want to finance it. You can now choose Shop Pay or Amazon Pay and finance those things off through the website. And you can even get coupon codes now if you're a member of the channel and actually get these things at a discounted rate. Okay, so the next part of the process is going to be setting the hoses up. Now, one of the carryover pieces from an old intake manifold to the new intake manifold is the evap solenoid. On this car, the evap solenoid had a little bit of a cracked plastic hose going from the solenoid to like the check valve. I decided I didn't like the way it looked, so I just chose to take some additional rubber hose that I had and repair it. Normally, these intake manifolds come with like a spring tension clamp, but because I needed additional clamps, I just put regular screw-on clamps because that's what I had available to me, and I just used whatever rubber hose I had, which was oil resistant, but it doesn't match the rest of the kit because it's not for the kit. Something was just wrong with the car. So what I'm doing is finishing assembling everything. I'm making sure everything is routed correctly because I have to get this into the car so everything can be routed to the right spots in the car. One of the other things I had to do was transfer over the throttle body spacer from the old manifold to the new manifold. Ironically, this car does have an idling issue and sort of a drivability issue, and what I noticed was, if you look here, the O-ring was actually squished lower than the ridge. Basically what's happening is I think it was a used spacer, and the O-ring wasn't sealing properly, and a little bit of vacuum and boost was leaking at that point. So I decided to put some silicone on it so it would seal up a little better. And you guys will see later on when I get this car running how much better it runs. I don't know if you saw the way it ran before, but this thing would stall and run like crap, and at the end of putting this whole kit in, it runs so much better. Okay, on to the next part of what we need to do. There is a large, like 3/4 diameter hose that runs down to the turbocharger, and it goes up to the intake manifold. That's the part you would pull when you want to look for the check valve. This big hose basically needs to be removed, and then we have to cut the connectors off the ends and then reuse that for the rest of the PCV kit. So when I send you the intake manifold, the hose will be basically ready to go. You just have to add your fittings in, and then when you install everything, it pretty much goes into place like it was meant to be. So now that I have the larger hose off of the turbocharger, the next thing you would need to do on your side of things, when you receive the intake manifold, you have to get this off the car. You have to simply cut the plastic, this like springy looking hose off, And you just make sure you use a sharp razor blade and a flathead screwdriver, and it'll pop right off. If you cut it the same way I did in the video, it'll come right out, no problem. Then what you want to do is slide all of your clamps on the larger new hose that comes with the PCV fix. This will be in the box with the intake manifold. Slide your fittings on. You're going to clamp everything down. Everything fits perfectly like it was made to be that way. You're going to assemble everything. Basically, the catch can add-on is going to be 2 additional hoses, an additional fitting, and then that longer hose, so it'll reach to the Super CRUZE's catch can, which will be on the strut tower housing, or just the strut tower, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you in the next scene how to install the quick release bracket. But as long as you set everything up the way I'm doing it in the video, everything will line up perfectly on the car. So the next step when you receive the kit would be, when you're ready to do the install, is jack the car up. Jacking the car up allows you to get to the other side of the little hole that's in the strut tower. There's a pre-existing hole that my quick release bracket slides right into, and if you jack the car up, you can get to the other side of the hole, so you could actually put the nut on. Once it's jacked up, then what you can do is, if you just see right here, you could actually gain access to the hole right through the spring with just a long extension and a socket, and that'll allow you to tighten up on the nut for the bracket, and you're good to go. Alright, so it's a pretty simple install, and once the cup is installed, the catch can goes right in place, and now we can put the hoses on. It doesn't really matter if you decide to do the bracket first or do the intake manifold first, as long as they're both in the car and the hoses are installed correctly and you swap the fittings over, everything will lay in place like it's designed for the car, because this entire kit is designed for the car. So you can see here that once the fittings are swapped over to the new hoses, the ones that we cut off the original hose going to the turbo and up to the manifold, everything will lay in place. The fitting at the top plugs right into the intake manifold. The fitting at the bottom plugs right into the turbo, and then it's sized perfectly to go right to the catch can like it was meant to be there, and that's why the system works so perfectly. Now, if you ever want to check this, you could pull it right out of the holder, open up the basin, check the inside of the basin, drain it if need be, tighten everything back up, and then just put it right back in the holder. It's that simple.